Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Saturday, October the 11th. And welcome to our commentary. Well, if you live in Texas on this Saturday in October, and you know that this is the Texas-Oklahoma game. It's always been a huge game around here. Everybody gets very excited. We see people from Oklahoma driving down with their mascots and their colors, and it is really an amazing event when you sit back for a second. Um, I don't have a favorite in this game. Obviously, I want Texas to win, but our sons went to Texas A&M, so my loyalties usually go with the Aggies. But obviously, I want Texas to win this game. But this is one of those football games that goes beyond the field. It becomes a huge event here in the area. It's a great day for the restaurants. I'll tell you that right now. Probably a pretty good day for the hotels too, because a lot of people come down. So it's just a great atmosphere. It's great. I mean, it's just absolutely great. And what you have is just a lot of fun. Now this year, the Oklahoma team is number 8 in the ratings. The Texas team is not that highly rated, so I would think the favorites are going to pick Oklahoma to win the game. But again, because of all the intensity and all the energy, it's always been an unpredictable game. So I don't know who's going to win. I hope Texas wins just because I live here. But it's just going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. And I know both sides really get into it. And this is exactly the kind of positive energy that we can use a little bit more of these days when everything is so negative. It's kind of nice to have something positive, something exciting going on. So go Texas. That's all we can say. Go Texas. And the game starts, I think, at 2:30 in the afternoon. So I'll be sitting there watching it as much as I can. Well, let's talk a little bit about this big story of Maria Corina Machado winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Maria Corina Machado is a lady from Venezuela who's been a huge political force in that country, opposing the Maduro narco dictatorship. And she's just been an amazing woman. I mean, I can't think of anybody more qualified for the Nobel Peace Prize than this lady for what she's done to promote peace and to promote democracy in her country. So I think it's an excellent choice. I mean, I don't see how anybody can criticize it, given what she's done to promote democracy and peace. Now, a lot of people are disappointed that President Trump didn't get it. Well, first of all, these choices are made weeks and months ago. And this Gaza treaty, though, or peace treaty or peace deal that President Trump has engineered, frankly, it has not quite happened yet. It's going to happen, but it's not totally 100% official yet. The hostages, I guess, are coming over the next few days. So I think President Trump will have a very good argument for this particular Nobel Peace Prize next year. He should get it next year. I mean, if they don't give it to President Trump next year, they need to shut down the agency, this Nobel thing, and forget about it because they're not serious. If they don't give it to him next year, then they're going to be as silly as they were when they gave it to President Obama back in 2009. You remember how silly that was. They gave it to President Obama, who had been in office like 6 months, and they gave it to him, I guess, on the anticipation that he was going to bring about peace. Really? You're not supposed to give this thing based on the anticipation or based on what he's going to do. You give it to people based on what they do. And I'm sure there were many people in the Nobel Peace Committee who must have been embarrassed when President Obama turned around and sent 40,000 troops to Afghanistan and then sent back 5,000 troops to Iraq after having pulled out the troops from Iraq in 2011. But anyway, that Obama selection was a joke. There's no other way to describe it. And they have to give it to President Trump next year. I don't see anybody else that would qualify. But this year, it was too late for President Trump And this particular lady, Maria Corina Machado from Venezuela, is just an absolutely fabulous choice. And I'm very, very happy that she was given the award. I think she deserves every piece of it. And one of the things that she did, by the way, was I think she dedicated the award to President Trump, thanking President Trump for what he's done for Venezuela. So I think that was a classy move on part of Maria Corina Machado. So congratulations to Maria. She's an extremely well-deserving candidate. She's probably going to be an important figure when Maduro leaves. I don't think she'll be president. I don't think she wants that because they already have a president. Remember, they had an election a year ago, and by most accounts, Maduro stole the election. Their actual president is this fellow, Mr. Gonzalez, who's sitting there waiting to go home and run the country. So, but this lady deserves it, and I don't know what else to say other than that. Congratulations to Maria Corina Machado, who deserves this prize 100%. I'm sorry she does. And again, if you were disappointed with President Trump, just wait your time. I'm pretty sure that President Trump will be next year when they hand out these things. He should be, as I said. If they don't give it to President Trump next year, then, as I say, shut down the committee and do something else for a living, because they're not a serious committee if they overlook President Trump the next time around. Well, this time of the year, of course, in October, we also have the baseball playoffs, and they had a great game in Seattle last night between the Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. It went 15 innings. It was absolutely great. I watched all of it. It went into midnight because it was such a late game, but it was worth watching. It was truly magnificent game. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. Seattle will move on to play Toronto in the American League Championship Series. Those are two very good teams, by the way, Seattle and Toronto. It should be a good series. I'm going to say Seattle is going to win. This seems to be the year of Seattle. Everything seems to be falling into place for Seattle. So I think they're going to win. But, again, I've been wrong before on these predictions, to say the least. But it was a great game to watch. Last night. Another big story, of course, is these shutdowns and the layoffs, I guess, that are coming. And people don't seem to understand a basic reality here, and that is that right now we don't have budgets. These departments, they may have buildings, and they may have people sitting at home expecting to go back to work someday, but they don't have budgets. So somebody has to run the country. And President Trump is laying off some people because we really cannot afford them. I think it's a great move, and I believe the Democrats are going to regret having given President Trump this opportunity to go through with some of these cuts that he's promised. I mean, I don't fault President Trump one bit for making these cuts, and I think there's more coming. There's more coming. Now, the Democrats have turned this into a debate over Obamacare, which is pretty silly. This has nothing to do with Obamacare. This is not about that at all. I think everybody knows what's behind the shutdown, and that is that people like Chuck Schumer and other Democrats are scared to death that they're going to have a primary in the upcoming election. And I'm pretty sure Chuck Schumer knows that he's going to have a primary. So they're trying to move to the left as much as they can and trying to basically appeal to a left wing of the party that seems to be getting stronger and stronger and potentially could elect the next mayor of New York City. I mean, it looks right now that he is going to win that election. The polls are tightening between him and Cuomo, but it's still a lead outside of the margin of error. It's like 8 or 9 points the last time I saw the polls. So he is projected to win. And what that's going to mean to the Democrat Party, I don't know. But it's going to embolden that left wing, that more radical wing of the party, and they're going to come back for more. And the Democrats in the Congress have to understand that this party right now is undergoing an incredible civil war, as well as it's not just an ideology, it's also a generational war going on inside the Democrat Party, and they're not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better for the Democrat Party over the next year or so. And if Mandami becomes the mayor of New York City, he's going to become the face of the Democrat Party. And I don't think there's a lot of Democrats who want that to happen, but that's what will happen if he becomes the mayor of New York City. But again, the election is not over yet. But something that is interesting, though, is the election in New Jersey and the election in Virginia. In Virginia, you have this controversy with the man running for attorney general, the Democrat running for attorney general, and some statements that he made that were just absolutely outrageous. And right now, some of the polling data suggests that that race is tightening up quite a bit from governor to attorney general. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in that race. I think the numbers still favor the Democrats in that race, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Over in New Jersey, though, it's an entirely different race there. The Republican who's running seems to be at the moment ahead of the Democrat in the polls that have come out. You get some polls that show it both ways, but on the average, it seems to be a dead heat right now within the margin of error. And I am going to predict that the Republicans are going to win New Jersey. I think the Democrats will win Virginia simply because they have more votes. But New Jersey is becoming a very competitive state. And if you remember 4 years ago, Governor Murphy running for re-election had a real scare. And he won by a couple of points, even though all the polling data was showing him winning by 5 or 6. So something is happening in New Jersey that I believe is going to have an impact on election day. Something's happening there. Property taxes. There seems to be a rebellion in New Jersey against, I wrote about this a week or so ago over at the American Thinker. There's a rebellion going on in New Jersey against blue state policies, whether it's green energy, whether it's taxes, whether it's property taxes, whether it's crime. Something is going on in New Jersey, and I don't think the Democrats get it. I don't think the Democrats get what electoral explosion we could see there on election day, which is coming up on the first Tuesday of November. So I think, again, Virginia, the Democrats should win. They have the numbers. It'll be close, but they will win. And in New Jersey, I think right now it's too close to call, and I'm going to favor the Republican who seems to have all the energy on his side. Well, we'll get into a little bit of this and other stuff during the week, but thank you so much for listening. Everybody have a great weekend. And we'll probably be chatting with George Rodriguez on Sunday nights, as we like to do. We'll talk a little bit about Texas, where we also have, as always, some interesting politics. Have a great weekend. Go Texas. And by the way, I'm not sure who to pick tonight between the Cubs and the Brewers. So I'm going to say go Brewers. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs win. It's a very competitive series. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas.